Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So on today's video, I'm going to have a conversation with you regarding building passive income streams. I'm going to discuss 8 specific passive income stream options through which you can make roughly 10,000 rupees every single month from each of these income streams. I will also talk about how difficult, how easy is it to build these income streams and keep it alive, and what are some of the key points that you need to keep in mind while executing each of these options. Now, before I deep dive into each of these income stream options, let me just quickly clarify what I mean by passive income streams. Many a times we assume that passive income means that, hey, I'm earning money in my sleep. I just have created some system or some process which just keeps on giving me money every single month. It works in some cases. For example, if you have purchased real estate and if you have rented your shop or rented your property, then you don't need to actively work on it besides collecting rent and just reminding your tenants that, hey, now it's due date, pay my rent. Probably that is one classic passive income stream option, but a more sensible definition of passive income stream would be that it is a process or a system where you do not have to continuously invest your active time to earn money. A classic example would be YouTube. For example, a lot of creators get on YouTube. When they shoot videos, they put up that video and that video keeps on generating some ad revenues. But what happens is that if you're not keeping your YouTube channel alive, if you are not posting regularly, I'm not saying that post every day, but if you're not posting things regularly on regular basis, then YouTube overall will decrease the reach even of your previous videos. So from that perspective, you still have to invest time every single day on a thing like YouTube, but it is still considered as a passive income stream option. Another way of thinking about passive income stream would be that you have built a system where you are exchanging value for money. For example, when you have built a course, then what are you essentially doing? You are providing people some value, and in return for that value, you are charging some money. So let's start analyzing all these different passive income stream options one by one. And also, if you incorporate these different passive income stream options, you will earn a lot of money and then you will have to pay taxes. So let me introduce you to our knowledge partners, which is taxbuddy.com. They allow you to file taxes in a very seamless manner. They provide end-to-end tax management solutions. So you can check the links in the description box for a special discount. So the first passive income stream option that I would like to discuss with you is stock market investing. Now I talk a lot about stock market investing on my YouTube channel. I teach a lot about stock market, whether it's fundamental analysis or technical analysis. And stock market is a great way of making passive income. So how do you make passive income from stock market? Essentially, you invest a bunch of money and there is appreciation of stock that will take place. That's first way that you will make money. And the second way in which you will make money is through dividends. So companies like ITC, HUL or Nestle, they keep on paying dividends from time to time. So that can become a sustainable cash flow income for you. Now there are different ways in which people engage with the stock market. For example, many people become full-time traders in it. Some people are long-term investors, so they do not check their portfolio every single day. So what I'm trying to say is that stock market is a mechanism where you decide how much time you need to invest. However, for majority of the retail investors, we should try to become long-term investor in the stock market, because that way you are not trading your active time. You're not sitting in front of your screen all day, glued looking at what happened to the stock yesterday and what is happening to the stocks today. You have purchased fundamentally good stocks. You have taken positions in it. Just wait and watch. Whenever it hits a certain level, you can decide to sell it off. So that's a system that you might have built. So this brings me to the key tip that if you want to make stock market your passive source of income, then number one, please become an investor, not a trader in it, because trader is actively trading his or her time in return for some money that they regularly make from stock markets. But on the flip side, if you are an investor, then you're not actively trading your time for money. So therefore, stock investing can be a sensible source of passive income for you. Now, in order to ace this income stream and in order to earn, let's say 10,000 rupees per month through stock markets, what is it that you need? First and foremost, you need access to capital. So if you're roughly looking to make 10,000 rupees per month in the stock market, then you're looking at a yearly return of 1.2 lakhs. And if we assume that that is just 10% return, then roughly you are looking to invest a corpus of 12 lakh rupees. Now creating this corpus of 12 lakhs is a difficult task, no doubt about that. But once you hit that level, you can reasonably expect to make roughly 10% returns from the stock market in a very sensible manner. Now, what is the system that I would propose in order for you to make a modest return? When I say modest return, I mean a 10% return. That is modest because that is even below the nifty returns. So there are a few systems that people follow. So one of the most popular system is that people do an SIP in passive indexes. For example, these would be Nifty 50 or Sensex. So every month they will pick up a date. For example, they will pick 15th of every month and they will continue to invest money month after month on this specific date in Nifty 50 stocks or Sensex stocks. So this is a system and this has worked really well, especially in the US. In the US, what has happened is a lot of retail investors have started shifting their money from actively traded mutual funds to these passive funds. So passive funds are Nifty 50, Sensex, which represents the entire broad market, right? So they are not being managed actively by mutual fund managers. In case you don't know what the difference between active and passive mutual funds are, I've created a separate video on that. You can go and check it out. For the purpose of today's video, if you want to make passive income from stock market, one of the easiest way is to do SIP based index investing. Now, what are my thoughts on SIP based index investing? Up until this point, I have been very warm towards this style of investing, but over time I've started to realize that hey, wherever massive money flows, big investors figure out a way to make money out of these retail investors. So my thought process, and I'll probably make a separate video sometime, my thought process is that now everyone should learn a little bit about stock market investing and at least invest and create a system where you are investing directly in stocks in high ROCE based companies which have good fundamental values, which are monopoly stocks in their own domain. If you just follow that principle, I think that is a much more sophisticated principle to make money. Very quick explanation there would be that right now you might have seen that the stock market has given massive gains for the last 1.5 years. And going forward, it is very likely that the markets will stop growing, they will start trading sideways. So they will move in a Nifty range of let's say 18,000 to 22,000 for the next 1.5-2 years. If that happens, then your money is not growing at a rapid pace. So that can be a problem. In order to avoid that, therefore you should learn individual stock picking and individual stock investing. Is it easy? Absolutely not. It is very, very hard thing to do. But you can create your own sensible, easy to understand system. You don't need to go and trade on all types of stocks. Just pick blue chip stocks, just pick monopoly companies, just pick companies that have very good balance sheet. If you just simply understand these 3-4 basic points, you will make very good returns. And with a corpus of 12 lakhs, you can roughly make 10,000 rupees from the stock market on a sustainable basis. Now, the second passive income stream that I would like to talk about is YouTube. Now, YouTube is a fairly old social media platform and it has added a lot of value to each of our lives. And on YouTube, you can become a content creator to earn passive income. Now, on YouTube, you basically make money in 3 ways. The first and the foremost way of making money from YouTube is through AdSense revenue. So, for example, when you would have clicked on this video, you might have been shown an ad. So, every time you see that ad, I as a content creator would get some money from YouTube. That's the first and the most obvious way of making money from YouTube. For this to get activated, you need what? You need to have almost 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. Only then this particular specification of YouTube AdSense revenue gets activated. It's not as if that the first day you post your YouTube video, you would start making money. No, that does not happen. You actually need a baseline. The baseline is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. Only then your channel gets monetized and you can activate this passive income stream. The second way YouTubers make money is through brand deals and brand sponsorships. For this, your channel should have grown up to a certain scale. I would say that that scale would be roughly 20 to 25,000 depending on your niche, what exact content you are making and bunch of different things. But if I have to throw out a number, then I would say that you might start getting some sponsorship money when you hit 20-25,000 subscribers. Now, the third way YouTubers make money is that they sell some type of digital products or community memberships. Now, I will talk more about it in this video about this third income stream because this is not just pertinent to YouTube. This is pertinent to a bunch of other external ecosystems also. It really depends on a lot of factors. It depends on what do you enjoy versus not, what type of channel you want to start, what is the niche in which your channel is focused. For example, certain channels like comedy, they get a lot of views, but very difficult to monetize it because advertisers do not want to spend their ad budget on comedy videos because people love to watch comedy, but it's not as if that people will watch some ad on comedy videos and they will end up purchasing that product. So therefore, the revenue per mil RPM, that's one of the measures that YouTube incorporates. So RPM for comedy videos might be on the lower end. But honestly, in terms of making money, you can make a lot of money and very less money from YouTube. The range is just wide apart. So it's very difficult for me to comment because it depends on a lot of factors. But ease of starting YouTube is really easy. You just need a camera, you just need a basic mic. For example, I use a very basic mic to speak to all of you and you can literally start shooting. What are some of the key things that I would like to suggest in terms of making passive income from YouTube? First and foremost, pick a niche that you are passionate about. For example, I am extremely passionate about teaching. Hopefully that reflects the way I speak, the way I teach on this channel. So teaching has always been a passion for me. I've been teaching for approximately 1.5 decades now. So I really enjoy that niche and I continue to make videos in that domain. Another related point here is that if you end up picking a niche, for example, if you feel that, hey, you know what, if I talk about business related things, probably the RPM is very high. So let me pick that stream and let me start shooting some content on it. You might enjoy it for a few days, few months, then it will fizzle out, right? So it's very important to enjoy things that you're doing on YouTube. Otherwise, according to me, it might be a very hard battle. And there is a very specific reason behind it. For example, what happens is that when you start your YouTube journey, initial few months, you will not get any traction. It will be very, very tough. It's a very lone battle. You might not even have anyone in your team. In fact, my team is also very small right now. It's not as if that I have a very big team. But especially when you're starting out, you might not have a lot of audiences. You might not get a lot of traction. You might struggle to shoot that video. You will not get any appreciation for shooting that video. So it becomes very important for you to enjoy that journey. If you're not enjoying that journey, you will give up very, very soon. So therefore, my foremost tip in terms of starting out on YouTube is that you must really enjoy that journey. If you're not enjoying that journey, then please do not get on YouTube. It's a very hard platform to make money from that perspective. Now, one practical tip that I will give you that I have not seen people give to get started on YouTube is not to get started on YouTube, but to get started on Instagram or start making Instagram reels or short videos, because that way you will understand that you enjoy the process of making videos and it's easier to make shorter videos compared to longer videos. Now, the third passive income stream I would like to talk about is selling digital products. Now, this is an entire universe in itself. There are 100 different options, 100 different ways in which you can sell digital products and the type of digital products. Let's say, for example, you are very passionate about fitness, so you can sell some fitness related products or fitness related program or getting fit program in 30 days. Similarly, if you are very passionate about fashion, then you can create some tutorial videos on how to make people look smart. You can put it out on YouTube, you can put it on something like Skillshare. So these would allow you to monetize your hobbies that you're thinking about and that you're passionate about. So essentially, digital products are a market in itself. You can explore numerous types of digital products. So pick a niche or try to build digital products that you feel personally very passionate about. For example, one of the key digital products that I'm building right now is a course on management consulting. My course on investing has been a hit. It has been loved by so many people. Thank you so much. People who have attended my course, do drop in the comments in case you're listening to this. So my batches are fully booked from that perspective because I really love to teach. That has always been my passion. That is something that I've always done and that is something that I would always continue to do. So hopefully that comes out very emphatically when I'm talking to you about teaching. So again, my advice on digital products is fairly simple, that you need to think about the value add approach here. For example, if I'm charging 10,000 rupees for my course, but you do not find any value in it, then the problem is that I'm charging a very high amount than what people are getting value for. So always consider the difference between value and cost that you're offering. And if you feel that, hey, I'm able to add like 20,000 rupees of value through this course, then go ahead, charge 20,000 rupees for that course. There is absolutely nothing wrong. The problem happens that even if you're selling like a 200 rupee course and that course does not add any value, that's a waste. On the flip side, if you're selling a more expensive product, but if you know that you will be able to add immense value, then go for it. That is the simple concept of pricing that I would like to tell you when you're launching your digital products. And can you make 10,000 rupees by selling digital products? The answer is absolutely yes. What you need to keep in mind is the calculation or the mathematical equation behind it. The amount of money that you will make will be price times quantity, right? So if you're selling 500 rupees course, a lot of people might buy it, but you will have to sell more units to make that 10,000 rupees. On the flip side, if you are selling a very high priced course, for example, 10,000 rupees, you just need one person to buy your course. So from that angle, I would say that selling digital products is a great option. You can definitely explore that. One key challenge that you will face is the distribution part of it. For example, in my case, because I'm on YouTube, I add a lot of value. I have been writing on LinkedIn for almost 2 years now. So I have that distribution going, so to say. But if you're just starting out and if you don't have any distribution, then getting traction in terms of selling that digital product will be very tough. And you might have to explore different options in terms of marketing. So always think about adding value to others. That is how you will get value back. That is the simple concept in our digital economy today. The more value you add, the more you get in return. Now, the fourth passive income stream options that I would like to talk to you about is NFTs. Now, NFTs are non-fungible tokens. They are a combination of cryptocurrencies usually and some underlying ecosystem that adds value. I have made a separate video on what NFTs are, so you can go and check it out. But very quickly, just to help you understand, let me use a real world example of an NFT / metaverse business in which I have invested. And that metaverse's name is Zionverse. So it's essentially a gaming company that has created a parallel universe, right? It's a new universe, so to say, about games, and they promote Indian cultures, and they have launched an NFT called as Lakshmi NFT. So essentially an NFT becomes like a passive income stream, so to say, because you launch certain kind of currency. That currency keeps on going up or down depending on market fluctuations. A bunch of different things. A lot of creators have experimented with the NFT space. For example, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan recently, he sold his NFT collection at approximately $1 million. So which was a huge amount, and he can create a series of NFTs. He can duplicate NFTs. For example, if Amitabh Bachchan does a photo shoot, right, of 100 photos, right, it just takes him an hour worth of his time. Then he takes those 100 photos, converts it into an NFT and starts selling it. So that becomes an NFT selling business. Now, as you can imagine, that making your own NFT, not a super complex process, but you need to provide certain underlying value. I'm just suggesting NFT option now. I understand that it is very difficult for retail investors to create their own NFTs and start monetizing it. But this is an option that will become more popular as the world grows. There will be more plug and play models here. A lot of new startups are coming in this space. So probably I'll have to make a dedicated video on this entire topic. Let me know in the comment box if you would want me to do that. But to cut the long story short, if you are someone who is interested in making passive income streams, then keep a close eye on the NFT businesses, how they are evolving. Learn more about this space. This short video will not help it. I will make a separate video on that perspective. But definitely learn more about what NFT are, what is Salman Khan doing with his NFT, what is Amitabh Bachchan doing with his NFT, what are other creators doing with their NFT. Also, let me know in case you would want me to launch my own NFT. I will make it as a case study and I'll shoot an entire video on that. Now comes the fifth passive income stream option, which is writing books. Now, essentially, I am writing my own book. I already have a book deal in place. My book is likely to come out by my birthday, which is on 6th of April. So hopefully my book will be released by then. So essentially in books, how you make passive income is through royalties. Roughly you make 10 to 20% royalty for every book that is getting sold. So that is the cut that the author gets. Because the distributors, the publishers, they take a lot of commissions from that perspective. They take a lot of risk and resultantly they charge a lot of commissions. Now, can you make 10,000 rupees by selling books? The answer is yes, you can actually do it. In India, it's harder to do it because a lot of pirated copies get sold and authors do not get credit for it. But let's assume that your book costs 300 rupees and you are making 10% on it. Then for every book sold, you are making 30 rupees. Then how many books do you need to sell to make roughly 10,000 rupees? So in order to make 10,000 rupees, you will have to sell roughly 330, 340 books in total, which is not that complex on per month basis if your book is good. Again, here you need distribution. If you are able to market your book really well, everyone is covering it, everyone is talking about it, then yes, selling roughly 300, 350 books per month seems like an easy task from that perspective. Now, how difficult is it to write a book? I will keep you tagged along with my book writing journey. So I am still finding out. I do not have a first-hand experience on it. But I would say that if you're good in structured thinking, that is something that is really helping me out in terms of writing my book. So I will share some structured thinking and structured learning tools with you. So hopefully that will help you get started in terms of your book writing journey. One quick tip that I would like to give you here is that please don't have very high expectations in terms of writing books, because book writing is a very difficult process. It's again a very lone process. You have to stay alone, you have to think, you have to grind, and then words start flowing out of you. So it can be a very lonely process. So don't put a lot of pressure on you while writing a book. Number 6th option, you can do podcasts to make passive income streams. Now, starting a podcast, super easy. All you need is a mic and you're done, and you use anchor.fm and you are able to upload your podcast. By the way, my podcast starts from 16th of this month, so keep an eye out and would love it if you can go download the episode and listen to it carefully. I'm making very detailed podcasts, so you will learn a lot from it. Now, how do you make money from podcasts? That's a slightly more complex question, because right now the only way to monetize podcast is through sponsorships. It's very difficult again for newcomers to monetize their podcast, because you roughly need to have around 1500 downloads for your podcast to be considered somewhat eligible for sponsorship. It really depends on the niche, how big a brand you are, etc., etc. But to cut the long story short, I would say that roughly 1500 downloads per episode is considered to be a good matrix for podcast. And at that stage in time, you can start reaching out to sponsors to get sponsorship for your podcast. Are my podcasts going to be sponsored? Yes, some of the episodes are going to be sponsored. I have found sponsors before time for that because I've already been creating content for years now. I've been active on LinkedIn for roughly 2 years, YouTube for roughly 1 year. So sponsors know what kind of content I'll be able to shoot and deliver. So from that perspective, they know that, hey, I'll be able to add value to communities and they are happy supporting me in that journey. What is the usual sponsorship rate? Can you make 10,000 rupees by running your own podcast? The answer is yes. You can easily make 10,000 rupees a month by running your own podcast, even if you can get 1 or 2 sponsorships. The 7th passive income stream option is called as paid membership. So you might have seen that a lot of YouTubers have a join button. So if you click on that, that is a membership that you are buying to their channel. Similarly, there are other platforms, other ecosystems like Patreon, where you can buy membership for certain exclusive content. Now you too can start your own membership on a platform like Patreon, but again, it's your responsibility to figure out a way to add value to the communities that you're reaching out to. So hypothetically, let's pick up a case. For example, let's say that you write excellent newsletter. Then you're reaching out to so many audiences every single day. You are adding value to their life in terms of their learning, in terms of engaging with them, in terms of igniting their intellect. So you're adding a lot of value to them. Now on your newsletter, you can literally say that, you know what, I've been adding a lot of value to you. How about you support me? Here is a link to my Patreon. Please go and support me on this particular page. In return, I will start shooting exclusive videos for you, or I will start shooting exclusive content for you, or I will start giving you exclusive information. That is a great way for content creators to monetize their content and stay afloat, because this is a full-time job for a lot of content creators. Now, is it again very easy to sell membership? I would say that this is probably the hardest thing in a way, especially in a country like India, because people do not really want to pay for content per se, because content is assumed to be free. So there is a lot of back-end work that goes into creating quality content. So from that perspective, I'm hoping that as the time change, as people start understanding that, you know what, content creators too are adding a lot of value compared to schools, colleges, etc., probably they will support their work more from that perspective. But right now, yes, it is very, very difficult to make 10,000 rupees through paid membership. Have I done it? Yes, I have done it. For example, I have invested in a company called as Cases Over Coffee, which has run paid membership for management consulting enthusiasts. So that's a highly niche business. We were able to scale that business up in a very wonderful manner. Excellent feedback about the entire ecosystem that we created. If you go on LinkedIn and read about Cases Over Coffee, you will see excellent feedback on the entire firm. Now, the final thing in which you can make passive income is a slightly more advanced stage. It is called as angel investing. So for example, I am an angel investor. So far, I have invested in roughly 7 businesses and I continue to invest in more businesses as I speak. Now, is angel investing pure passive income stream? The answer is yes and no in a way, because some founders in whom I have invested, they seek active support from me. They say that, hey Akshat, we want to have like bi-weekly meetings, or we want to have like meetings every 2 to 3 weeks. Some say that, hey, you know what, just be hands off, we can handle things. Whenever we need you, we'll call you, right? That is the type of conversation that you can end up having as an angel investor. Now, one of the key traits for being an angel investor is that you must know about businesses, you must have built your own businesses, and you must be able to add value to a business that you're looking to invest into. There's a lot of money that is floating around and businesses are able to get that money, but startups are super interested in getting good people on board with them who can help them accelerate their growth. If you're starting out and if you want to invest in businesses as a retail investor, then there are certain platforms like Angel Investor Network. You can read more about it, and that will give you a better sense of whether angel investing works for you or not. But yeah, this is a super risky field because majority of the startups fail. So from that perspective, I hope that you found this video to be insightful and useful, and you can pick certain tips and strategies from this discussion and implement it in your own arsenal so that you can upscale your career and start making more money. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you the next time.